All right, joining me now is Kathleen Miller. You and I have crossed paths once before.
Yes, except we're on your home turf this time.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's hard to recognize me. We did a little bit of Valentine's Day archery, so I dressed up as Cupid, and this world-renowned archery instructor was forced to show me how to use a multitude of different bows.
With her wings on. That was really spectacular.
So you are the president of the South Nation Archery Supply shop and club.
Right.
But with the Olympics being here, we have to mention you're a level 4 nationally certified coach, former technical and executive director of Archery Canada. You have worked with a couple of the Olympians that are in London. You've actually coached the coach of the Olympic archery team?
Well, because I'm ancient, you know, a long time ago, and I lived in Toronto, I worked with Joan McDonald. And Joan McDonald is, I think, in her 4th Olympics as the Olympic coach. She's done a tremendous job over the years. But yes, I used to coach her when she was still an active athlete.
How does that feel to have coached her and to work with some of the athletes that are now world-class Olympians?
Well, there's a lot of dedication involved. The 2 people that are representing Canada, Crispin Duenas of Toronto and Marie-Pierre Baudet of Lévis, Quebec, started when they were very young, in their early teens. They're committed, their families, the support has been tremendous because the amount of funding available is not what we have in other countries in archery. So it's been a long road. These 2 young athletes are actually repeating. They were in Beijing, so lots of experience. You
mentioned a record has been set. Can you tell me about it?
Well, one of the people I wanted to highlight this morning is a gentleman who, by the way, happened to finish this morning's ranking round in 1st place from Korea. His name is Im Dong-hyun. He is legally blind. So what he sees at full draw is only a blurred image of the gold in the middle. So it just goes to prove that aiming at full draw is not all it's cracked up to be. It's the sensation of the body back 70 meters away. So this morning he set a new record, 699 points out of a possible 720. So what I did today was I thought I'd bring the 2 different styles of equipment that people would be commonly seeing in archery in North America, one of which is illegal for the Olympic Games.
Which is the compound bow to your
right.
Okay.
I kind of snuck this in on the side. So the definition of what kind of bow is allowed is that it's got to end in a working limb tip. So obviously as I draw the string back, there's the working limb tip. You can see it actually flex. Right? A compound bow, this is just an idler wheel, and this is an eccentric. So though the limbs compress, there is no working limb tip. So by definition, right there, they can go to World Championships, World Cups. Maybe after 2020, they'll be allowed as a separate event in the Olympics. But for right now, this kind of bow is not allowed at the Olympic Games. So if you get to see the anything online with the Olympic coverage for archery, this will be the only bow. You'll notice that I have a little bead on the string. This is not the same as a compound bow that has an actual loop that you look through as a rear sight, like on a gun. So again, it's a little more difficult. The sights that are allowed for compound, you can have levels, you can have a magnification. There's a certain amount of things you're allowed to have, you're not allowed to have with the Olympic style. So that isn't to say that this is easier to shoot.
No, and I learned a bit about that when I visited you in Winchester, which is where South Nation Archery is located, right? So if you head to the South Nation website, you can look at all of the different information.